dub stop, Philadelphia, PA. Shot so loud you would think it was a club spot. African Americans, although we all over the web, we the hood librarians. We ship to prisons too. We reach out and deliver to those that's bitten too. But it's more than a bookstore. You want it, we got it. Mixtapes, DVDs, and culture.
Alright, so today's theme is going to be on electronic racism. That's what today's theme is, electronic racism.
Oh, today's lecture was phenomenal. It's what I've been waiting to hear for a long time because it gives more detail and it really opens people up to understanding the process. And I've actually participated in some of that, the technical stuff dealing with the mortgage and the property, since our property was left to me by my parents. And he's on the money, he's right on time with the situation. So it's very well appreciated, and I know everybody that's here today will appreciate, and everybody that will see it eventually on the internet or whatever will really appreciate it.
Yeah, and it's good to see some of y'all out here from when we had the Philly store out here back in the day, so it's good seeing y'all come out. It's real good. I was hoping to see some of y'all out here. I ain't been in Philly in a while. And Philly is the hood. I'm from Brownsville, so I know a hood when I see a hood. Philly definitely is the hood. It's a good thing, man. I'm from the Ville. Because I see some stuff in the last 5 blocks that had me like, yo, bringing me back. I was like, thank God for them tax liens, them tax deeds.
Tax liens, tax deeds, tax liens, tax deeds. I'm caking off of these houses. 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 Tax liens, tax deeds. I'm caking off of these houses. Wow. I'm caking off of these houses. Wow. I'm caking off of these houses. How? Tax liens, tax deeds. Every day is my birthday. Caking off of these houses.
I was like, oh shoot. Yeah, this brought me back. I needed that music, boy. Yeah, I mean, it's fly, and I love it. I love it because these environments make you very creative if you don't fall victim to the conditions. A lot of us fall victim to these conditions, and we use it as an excuse to not excel.
You was here 5-10 minutes ago, bro. I want people to know everything was complete.
That's right.
Yeah, salute. You know, you really did your thing, man. You packed it. I knew that was going to happen. Yeah. You know, but to actually, definitely got a heavy following, man. I recently just found out about you. You know, this is a whole nother market now in Philly.
Yes.
And I know that because when Sinetta and other people come down, they like, when that come out? Or when you get this? And you know what I mean? So that's how you can tell the market's different. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even though Philly and New York are like cousins,
that's right.
It's two different markets. So we need your presence. So as you can see,
need to be here.
We didn't make one flyer for this.
Yeah, I hear you.
So we need you back. You know what I mean? It was definitely
that's intense, man.
Yeah, man.
We normally go hard and come out.
So we had
just recently put a YouTube clip up and go on the date, you know.
Yeah, that was
that's fly.
Yeah, a couple days ago. So just to be able to see that, I would like to do something else outside of here. Maybe get a bigger venue.
I'm with it.
I heard you doing something with Pro Mooney this Sunday.
May 20th.
Oh, okay. Well, I saw the commercial. I thought it was next Sunday.
Yeah.
One of us, but it's next month.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna attend that.
And in California, I'll be doing something with the producer of the Boondocks. Because they joined the community. So when they ask, how can they support? I just tell them, I don't want no money, I just want to share the form with you. So maybe your audience can be espoused to what we share. That's what I'm doing. Share the form. And I'm good. People would never give themselves a chance to hear. That's what it's all about.
I mean, I see that. Food is marvelous.
Thanks, man. That's important to me, man.
We love that around here.
That's important.
Yeah,
you know?
that was.
Gotta stay away from that white. It's black rice, black potatoes, black salt, black quinoa.
Yeah, that was marvelous.
That's what we do.
Well,
black. I stay black. But thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, brother.
We're still living in the past, trying to approach the changing of today's situation. And I'm not saying we have to disregard the past, but things change, people change,
Okay, even change. Currency changed. And when currency changes, you have to make modifications in your customs and traditions, common customs. But the problem is a lot of us do not have common customs. And that's the biggest problem in our communities. We join a lot of heavy communities. But then when we join, there's no prayer system. There's no language. There's no cultural dish. And these are the things that we watch other people succeeding in society. It just so happens they have a cultural dish. It just so happens they have a cultural dress. It just so happens they have their own language. It just so happens they have their own law. It just so happens everyone identifies their specific status. It just happens to be that way. But when we erect the community or black movement, we're missing all of those things and we're expecting to be successful. And the most we've managed to come out with all these communities with was kill the cracker and kill the white man. And it's clear that that's not going to happen no time soon. Because it would have happened sometime soon already. And we would have been behind bars already. And we'd have been dealing with martial law already. And a lot of us wouldn't be here already if it was true. If we were going to sit here and listen to kill the white man, kill the cracker, it's time to rise. It's time to take this stuff over. Now, how you take what over? Well, I ask people all the time. They say you just trying to get people to read books, buy books and everything. You're afraid to fight this devil. I'm like, how could I be afraid to fight the devil? I was locked up for murder. You never went to prison. You might have went to prison for a weed charge. You didn't even go to prison for a weed charge. You went to the central bookings and you was doodling in front of people with no doors. And then you went to court and they gave you summons and you won. Or you got out of that situation. I'm like, I'm not scared. I've been there. I've been shot. I've been stabbed. I've been sliced. Been Crip Superior in Brownsville. And still say it every day of the week. And I'm still in the public schools letting them know I used to be a Crip Superior, talking to the children. All right? And I'm trying to explain to people, I'm not the one that's afraid. I woke up. Because the people saying that I'm afraid haven't even been shot, stabbed, sliced, or locked up for something very intense. Okay, so there's a lot of things going on behind the wall, as we say, that is not being shared with the community, honestly. Like when we listen to the music, they support the sell drugs. They support the shoot somebody lyrics. And I'm like, all right, even if you had a point with selling the drugs and shooting people, why are you not telling us the outcome of what happens when you get caught doing it? Not the, yeah, I was in prison and I came home and I'm back on the block. No, tell the truth. Because I know when I got locked up, I was in for a shock. When I got a visit, I had to take all my clothes off and strip butt-ass naked for someone to visit me. I didn't know that. I never heard it in none of the rap songs that I was listening to. So when I had a visit, and they like, yo, strip butt-ass naked, I'm looking at them like, that's not in the music. Like, I've been buying Tupac's albums, I've been buying Biggie shit, I've been buying everybody's. And ain't nobody dropped that shit on me. All those albums I've been buying. I was looking for a refund in prison. I was pissed off. So I'm trying to figure out, why is that part of the hip-hop content omitted? I didn't know. And then you can't help but to feel that this pale man is getting off. As he tells you, spread your legs and cough. As if I'm hiding something up my ass. And this is for real. And this is the side of the story that no one is teaching our children. As they glorify going to prison like you're getting stripes in your community. And it's the most demeaning feeling that you can ever have as a black man. Being yelled at and screamed on by another person of another race. Or yelled at and screamed on by somebody that looks like you, just doing it for someone, performing for another race. And on top of it, telling you to be naked. Telling you to cough. It's the most demeaning thing that you can experience. And I even have to question the people that are in and out of prison to go through that on a day-to-day basis. No, I'm not talking about the regular weed charge. I'm talking about when you're really doing time. When you're around people who are not getting out no time soon. And they find out you're about to get out. And all they have is time on their hands because they're not coming home. And they pick on you or they bother you. And if you get beat up, you still get in trouble for being beat up. If you win, you're still getting in trouble. And now you got to stay there that much longer. And no one tells that side of the story. That you'll be locked up with people who are actually really crazy. You thought you met crazy people. You thought your mans were crazy. You even thought you was crazy after listening to that music, brainwashing yourself, reciting those lyrics, have yourself hypnotized till you get yourself in trouble. You thought you was nuts until you get around the real nuts. You thought you was a devil till you get around real devils. You ain't met real devils yet until you've been in prison. Give yourself a year in prison, and I guarantee you meet some real devils. It put me in check. Cause I was the man, and I had my teardrop and everything on my eye, going in hard. And my C's up and all that. But the first 6 months in prison, I got a reality check. And I ain't afraid to say it. I wasn't walking around going crazy and dancing all over the place. I kept my fingers right in my pockets. And I had to reassess and reevaluate the whole situation. You don't try to make a way in someone else's community. The devil is here. Your own people gonna work against you as you try. The only reason we need places like this is to draft pick the righteous. Got treated like the NBA draft. So if I hear you dropping knowledge, you sharp. That's like behind the back pass. You LeBron James Constance. We need to draft pick you and bring you over to our team over here. That's what these mediums are here for. These mediums are not here to take over the white community that black people populate. These mediums are here so we can find the righteous amongst our community and come up with a game plan that registers with us in consciousness. And after we make that evaluation and we can definitively conclude what is right for us and what is wrong for us, then we can go elsewhere with the information. But we're not supposed to stay grounded and keep studying year after year after year. That's not the game plan. And now someone has to come with a game plan, because you can clearly see it's just going to be a lecture thing for until we die and shit get harder. It's time for us to have our own land again, have our own culture, have our own language. It's time again. And people that say they gangster and kill this one and kill that one, this is the most gangster thing you can ever hear about. It's the most gangster thing you can ever hear about. So when Trayvon gets killed, he's getting killed in someone else's community. Imagine a community where we own the hospital, we own the schools, okay? We own the fire department, we own the police department. And in fact, just imagine a community where we just own all the buildings, even if it's just 20. Guess what happens? White people don't walk up and down the community. When Dr. York had Tamaray, white people wasn't walking up and down the land any time of night. White people were on the outside looking in like, yo, what the hell are they doing over there? Yo, go check. I ain't checking that shit. That was the problem. So there's no Trayvon Martins on Tamaray. Just can't happen. You see, yo, but they took the land though. The devil took the land. Yeah, because we had to learn. There's a lot of books out about Dr. York's case and how he's innocent. There's no books out about Tamaray, the land that Nuwaubians had. You know why? Because Nuwaubians himself didn't know who owned the land, who was in control of the land. They didn't protect the land. They didn't know about a private irrevocable trust. They didn't know about none of this. But what we don't realize is it is better to leave that you owe money on your credit report than it is to say that you paid for something. They take off more points on your credit score for it being written that you paid for your debt. What you have to do is say, I'm going to pay it only under pretense if you erase it off my history. If you have it erased off your history, your credit score goes up. But if you have paid on your history, your credit score goes down, and it would have stayed in a better place if you just left the debt there rather than make it say paid. These are things they don't teach us. No one knows about credit. Really, I check my joint every 3 to 4 weeks. Every 3 to 4 weeks, I check my credit. Every 3 to 4 weeks. Because you know why? 9 out of every 10 credit reports are wrong. They have misinformation in it. 9 out of every 10. You know why? Because 9 out of every 10 people don't check their credit report. So until they do, that's going to stay the statistic.
Thanks for coming out, ladies.
Thanks.
Peace. So we know what we gotta do. We gotta do it again. And on a bigger, like,
on a bigger,
I never had this. This was over the capacity.
I love it like that too. You know what it does for people when they bring their family, the brothers and the sisters. It press upon their mind that this is where we're supposed to be. Like when it's like 4 or 5 people that people go, you're just in that conscious stuff. So people see like that event type of vibration, then that's what people look for a lot of times. So that's what I be doing with the New York joint. Like when I do New York, I be having smoke coming out the stage. I be coming out.
I seen it.
I be going there.
I seen it.
Because I'm like, you know what? We deserve this. We doing the right thing, man. Like why everybody else get to eat and go like that? We doing the right thing. We should let the smoke flare and the crowd come out, the big projector out, go in. Some people like, yo, you ego trip. I'm like, yo, I'm having fun, man. Like we have to, if the basketball players that come out, welcome to the NBA and all, I'm like, then why we can't do that and we conscious, yo? Like I came a long way, like gang banging and being Crip and being in Brownsville, all that. damn near died just standing on my own and saying, look, I don't want to do that no more. I went through mad stuff just to get to this point, and for them to dig it after a while, respect it, and even get a lot of those brothers to make the transition. Some people still got 1 foot in, 1 foot out, but at least they reading, so as long as they're reading, it's still hope, you know. But I mean, I went through stuff. You know, I went through stuff. I'm like, yo, come on, man. I'm like, y'all ain't give me none of that heat when we over there terrorizing each other, but y'all gonna give me heat now that I'm teaching, and this is the reason why I want to make my transition. Now you gonna give me some heat? I'm like, it's crazy. This is crazy. Like, there's no heat on me for attacking another brother for no reason. But there's heat on me because now I'm teaching? I'm like, come on, son, I'm not doing that. Get out of here. And I already know who you are. I'm your superior. I know who you are. Like, this I didn't just join. You just joined. Like, you can't tell me I can't do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, for something positive, I'm trying to make the world better for your child. All of them that you got out there that's fatherless. Like, you can't talk to me about that, man. So, you know, you stay on your convictions. You find that a lot of people, it just diffuse all that negative energy. So long as you ain't pussyfooting or buck dancing and really pretending to be like you about it and you're not about it. Like, but if it's really in your heart, people feel it. And they got no choice but to respect it. I'm like, come on, man, if I was supposed to do this, I would have been laid down already. Like, I'm supposed to do this, man. I've been incarcerated, shot, stabbed, and all that other stuff. And I'm still here, so I'm like, you know what? My life must serve a purpose. So after a while, like, I get the point. I should have got it longer ago, but point is, I'm still here today, and I got the point in enough time. A lot of people don't get a chance to get the point that soon, or you know, even be able to stay alive and be relevant. So that's where I'm like, I fit in. I'm like, you know what? I understand what a lot of people feel. Cause I feel it too. I feel it when I'm in the hood and I'm over here asking somebody to give me a hand, to give me some help, and all they got is some kind of spirituality, but it's not really tangible. And you getting all these different promises, and then you grow frustrated with it because we watch our grandmother go through that. We watch our great grandmother go through that. We watch our aunts and our uncles and all of them with their ankles get swollen, they get heavier, they get sick, and they over there still waiting for Jesus to come and everything like that. And shit don't change. Then after a while, it make you turn around and start wondering, is any of this stuff real? Then it make you lose all hope in everything. And you just think everything's a hoax. And then everybody's BSing. Like, people BS so much, people be checking me out just to see if I'm BSing. Because so much people BSing, you just can't believe somebody actually keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? So, I know what it is, man. That's why I'm like, I love this, man. Like, I've never been more happy in my life, yo. Never been more happy.
I hear a lot of people bill and do lectures, but to actually do the math on the economic level, like that's the biggest, that's what's missing.
Big time.
That's what we got. Everything else.
Mad. Crackheads know they're the original man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's real.
That we mentioned in Pennies Off of Millionaires, the statute of limitations. Every now and then, after 5-6 years, you get this phone call that reminds you about a debt that you had long time ago. And you don't switch your phone, you switch where you live, and you get this call like, yeah, is this Michael James? And you go, who's this? Before I answer. Well, we're calling about, you already sound suspect. You already committed yourself. And you start talking in a weird voice like they know you personally. Hello, this is not me. And it's like, yo, you don't gotta do all of that. They don't know you, right? But you start getting nervous and pulling all sorts of stunts. I wish I was one of those people sometimes. I wouldn't mess around. I ain't gonna front. But the thing is, when they call, a lot of times they only call because what happens is this. If I'm your credit card company and I give you a $5,000 credit limit, which you should only use no more than 10%, at most 15% of the credit limit. So if you got a $5,000 credit limit, you should only use $500 out of the $5,000. Okay? That's the only, you should, because if you go over that, it affects your credit score. So even though they give you $5,000 that you can use, you don't want to use $5,000 even if you can pay it back. You only want to use $500. You want to stay inside that 10% barometer. All right? But anyway, and that's stuff they don't teach us. Cause, oh, $5,000? Watch this. I'm going, I'm going to give my homegirl some shoes. I'm over here. I'm going to buy me some sneakers. I'm going to get it in right now. And I'm going to pay it back. Oh, and guess what? They give me low payback rates. All I got to do is give them $30 a month. You know why? Because it accumulates with interest. They're not going to teach us pay it back as soon as possible so you don't have all that interest accumulating. Because by the time you finish paying interest for 8 months, you're like, thanks for this credit card. Because all I had to do was pay them $20 a month and just give them an extra $6 every time I pay the $20. And you don't realize after 8 months you gave them an extra $48. And those are small numbers. The amount of interest we be paying because we pay the lowest amount kills us, which you always need to do. You shouldn't use it unless you're willing to pay back more than half of the amount that you borrowed in the first place. If that's not the case, don't even use it because the interest is not worth it. You're throwing away money. But anyway, what happens with the statute of limitations is those people start calling because If I extended a $5,000 credit card limit to you, and you wound up owing me $3,000 and you never paid it back, what happens is, after, let's say I live in Alabama, they have a 3-year statute of limitation. So if I owe a credit card company and I'm resident of Alabama, if 5 years have passed, or the 3 years have passed, what happens is I, as the credit card company, write off your debt, your $3,000 debt. I write off your $3,000 debt off in my taxes as a donation. That's what credit card companies do. Credit card companies write the debt off as a donation to you. So they get most of the money back, and then they sell the debt to a third party so they can hustle and see what they can get out of you. But the credit card company already ate, because they wrote it off on their taxes as a donation. So they got paid. And then they still take that pretend money now and sell it to a third party that is going to call and say, yo, hello, they're going to call you when the debt expires. Most times they call you when the debt expires. Anytime you get one of those phone calls, you need to know that the debt already expired. And they're trying to get you to commit yourself to pay it. And that's why it's weird. 1 minute they say you owe $8,000, and then another minute, we'll let you get off for $1,500. What kind of hustle is that? How could you be in business if I owe you $8,000 and you willing to get only $1,500 back? We know you ain't that nice, white man. Like, what's the trick? We know that ain't right. Everyone knows it ain't right. We just ain't really figure out what was going on. How could I owe you $8,000 and then 5 months later you send me something else in the mail? Well, we're willing to take $1,500. You a crackhead. That's what you are, credit man. The only time I've seen this behavior is from crackheads. That's not right. So I started doing the research. I know the credit man can't really be a crackhead, could he? And then that's when I found out. These were people that buy your $8,000 debt for probably $300 or $400. And then they try to see what they can get from you. So they might tell you it's now $12,000. Pay it back. And you might have just got up on some good money. You might say, can I start some payments? I'll give you $3,000. They already killed you. They already made a killing. They good. And they're going to lock you in and make you commit to that. They evil. Meanwhile, the original company that you owe, they wrote it off of their taxes. They made their money and then they sold that debt over to someone else. Everybody's benefiting from our ignorance. Now we don't have no money to do any investing ourselves. But there's a statute of limitations. So when it runs out, you don't owe. Even the IRS has a 3-year statute of limitations. So the IRS is telling you you owe money when? Because it was from 3 years ago, it expired. That's universal. That's all over the place. Every country that got a form of IRS is 3 years. 3 years. You hold tight. So if you are actually on your last 30 or 45 days, then, you know, it is, of course, spade is spade. It is what it is. I wouldn't pay it. I'm not going to give you the legal advice, but if I'm down and the clock is ticking, 30, 45 days, I'm going to see if they're going to audit me. I ain't going to call them and say, yo, you know, time's running out. You better do it. Nope. After 45 days, I'm going to give them a call. After the first minute of the 45-day expiration, boom, I'm right there giving a call. Just so you know, it expired last year, bitch. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? The New Year's ball drop, boom, that's it. I ain't got to pay you no more. I mean, you may say, oh, he's cursing. Listen, when you're dealing with this demon, it makes you curse sometimes. You know what it is? You don't even want to open your mail sometimes. Say where you get mail and you just see it, you feel the energy around the whole envelope. The whole energy on the envelope ain't right. And you almost want to smack the hell out of the person who delivered the envelope to you. Like, why you keep sending me this type of shit? I don't read it. I don't like it. Don't you see I leave it on my step and it rains and it gets wet? There's a whole bunch of stuff. I still got envelopes I haven't opened up yet from like 95. Like, I still not opening up some envelopes. It's annoying, man, because it's an energy, I swear, I feel it. And it's a phone call after a while. When you owe too much people and everyone's calling you at the same time, and you get a new life, you get a new number, and they still find you in another number, it's depressing. And you start getting paranoid. Now you're looking out your window before you go outside, and you feel like gangsters are looking for you. And they talking nasty to you on the phone, too, like you better have my money. I'm like, yo, who are you? You supposed to be a government agency. You wasn't the Bloods and Crips in my community. It's damn near like if I see you, it's going to be on. I'm like, yo, it's just a credit card debt, fam. Like, take it easy. But they'll say anything to you to intimidate you into a wrong decision. Don't fall for it. You get this information, be empowered by it. We need the credit, it's true. We need the credit, and it's not too difficult, okay, to repair that credit, but we need it because it's being used. Look, if you need credit to buy a house and you need credit to get a job to make money, and you need credit to probably get a car under reasonable conditions, and you need credit to get an apartment, or you need a good credit to get you a store. After a while, if we're born into bad credit situations, we're displaced in society. We can't do nothing because the money is electronic. So now all we can do is an off-the-books job and try to get some money. And there's no history, there's no good story in that. There's no real success in that. We have to get up on the electronic aspect of this warfare. Let's go to the next one, baby. Pennies off of millionaires, and buy the house, sign the contract, protect the asset. Yeah, but pennies off of millionaires goes real deep into the credit stuff. Okay. This right here, very important. This is in the Pennies Off of Millionaires book. This right here. I always have to rectify this because we're about to transcend what we was talking about and go somewhere else because it's about this electricity. The birth certificate. And of course you can get information, of course, from stocks and bonds as well. This was an original dollar that used to say gold or silver certificate. It's very important in New Covenant Lessons, Lesson 2. One of the things that you have to commit to memory in Lesson 2 of the New Covenant Lessons is the House Joint Resolution 192, March 9, 1933, 73rd Congress, Session 1, first chapter, 83rd page, first paragraph, third sentence. This is a part in history where you find out that the gold and silver of the land was taken from the people, and they would even incarcerated you and penalize you $10,000 on top of being imprisoned, okay, for being caught with gold or silver, because real certificates are redeemable. You turn them in for something that has actual value. Okay? So your dollar used to be able to go to the bank if it was a gold certificate like this one right here. If it was a gold certificate, you go to the bank and you get the gold that is equal to the value denoted on the certificate. Now this says Federal Reserve note, but it's supposed to be certificate. You can't redeem a note because it already implies that it's a debt obligation, because that's what a note is. And a certificate, what? Attests to, it's a security that attests to the credit of ownership and equity, as in the case of a stock, or ownership of a bond as in the case of a debt obligation which has tradable derivatives. Okay? Meaning you can trade this and sell it because this represents a contract here. This represents an agreement, and this represents equity. The dollar no longer represents that. It represents the fact that since that 1933 thing that I was talking about that took place in March 9th, 1933, 73rd Congress, Session 1, first chapter, page 83, first paragraph, third sentence, we learned that we are missing gold and silver. So what happened? Well, anything that has a certificate on it, especially with these bright alphanumerics, these red letters or blue letters, if it says certificate, it's just like this. There's equity there. Because this is called a QSIP, and a QSIP is what? Committee on Uniform Securities Identification Procedure. This is a way that they track down commercial instruments, things that have equity. So let's say this was stolen, you wouldn't worry if someone stole your paper money back in the days because it had QSIPs on it. So it's like a diamond, real diamonds, right? Have some kind of serial numbers on them. So if a person tries to go in and really get some money from their diamond, they would know it's stolen property because real diamonds have some kind of inscription on them that lets you know, that protects the owner, because when the owner buys real jewelry, you're supposed to get a certificate that attests to the equity. If you buy real gold coins, you're supposed to get a certificate with a QSIP number on it that attests to the equity of the gold coin. Someone that confirms on their accountability that they're not lying to you, this gold registers as this value. And here's the paper certificate that attests to your ownership in this particular equity. So certificates with QSIP numbers, okay, always represent there's some kind of commercial essence and equity to substantiate something that you don't see. Because people don't walk around with gold and silver in their pockets. So you'll get a QSIP, you'll get a certificate that represents the gold and silver, because that might weigh your pockets down depending on how much gold and silver you have. So that was the science of creating certificates. What happened since March 9th, 1933, they started putting these things on the certificates. QSIPs, Committees on Uniform Security Identification Procedures. CUSIP. On your birth certificates and your social security cards and your death certificates and your marriage certificates. Because this represents a promissory note, a promise that you will exert X amount of energy that can be converted into their system of currency, in their form of commerce. Because we live in an era where currency has changed. This keeps happening. Sometimes currency was oxen. Sometimes currency was cows. Sometimes currency was virgin women. Sometimes currency was gold and silver. Now currency is the pledged labor of people. But unfortunately, America, like many other countries, over 180 countries to be exact, have pledged the labor of their citizens without giving their citizens full disclosure, meaning children are being born and countries are saying, I'm pretty sure that this young man, growing up in this community, we did the analytics, he'll probably make you $20 million before he dies. He'll probably die around age 60 or something, 50 something. Based on the level of education he's going to be subjected to. The price value or increment can be subject to change as he gets an education or he gets incarcerated. But the estimation is he'll make about $20 million as he comes into this world. He's likely to get married. When he gets married, marriage determines that you more or less buy a house. And you buy a house and you're likely to lose the house because they're likely to divorce. So you're going to have to pay for the foreclosure. You're going to go into debt. You're going to have to pay for the divorce, so people are going to get paid. He's likely going to start drinking alcohol. He's going to generate revenue on the way in the form of buying alcohol. He's probably going to get high. The drugs that we're bringing into America, he's going to start blowing bud. They got all these analytics.
So to do it on the basis of, you know, having your own and your family and doing it together, like to actually see that.
Telling people, like, I'm never saying that it's just money exclusively, with the right knowledge and the right money, it works out. Family change. I know better. I used to have hell with my wife, man. I ain't gonna lie to nobody. My financial situation got better. They start seeing my vision. They stuck around. Shit was tight. I used to not even have furniture in my crib, and their parents used to be like, yo, how you going to be polygamous? I have more than one female in the house, and he don't even got furniture, this and the third. But I'm like, yo, listen, you keep talking to the people on the outside. We have our own arrangement agreement. We have a vision. We have a plan. If I was a man without a plan and you was subject to these conditions, then I would say, man, you're supposed to be leaving. But if I give you a span of time and I say, yo, give me so much time, but I need this much support. Whenever black men get support of a black woman, even if it's just one, we tend to go a lot further. We tend to go the distance, but we just get some support. Right. Just a little support. But the problem is these people on the outskirts looking in, stand on the outside looking in and critique it. I'm like, these people are not even content with their own situation. Right. So they don't want to see you content. I'm like, so long as we stay about what we about, let's give it a chance. Let's see what happens. You know, but for me, I was like, I'm tired of buying a nice TV for a house that I keep saying I believe. I'm tired of buying nice curtains for a house that's saying believe. So I was like, you know what? From now on, we ain't buying nothing for this house. That's the only way we're going to get out. The more we keep buying for this house, the more complacent we become. We stay here. So after a while, like, nah, no more furniture. Every time I came in with some money, they're like, yo, what's up? Can we get TV now? I'm like, just visualize. Nigga, like, create TV. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can't keep contributing to this place we say we want to get out of. It's just, that's hustling backwards, man. I like used to hustle. So a lot of shit start making sense when you put it into perspective. You know, so it starts making a lot more sense when you supplant that negative information, the negative incentive with the positive incentive. So after a while, I'm like, all right, I get this. But then as we started transforming and the conditions started changing, then it made the discipline worthwhile. So then everybody in the house started becoming more and more disciplined because we start seeing the results from our discipline. But yo, went to pipe bust, freezing cold. People like, yo, you living in a house, we can see smoke coming out your mouth when y'all in the house. So it's all good. If we choose to live like this, we good. But we know the direction that we going in. So yeah, we was doing the Polight to teach a bit, and there was nothing wrong with it, so long as we don't plan to stay like that forever. You know what I'm saying? So we worked, but we knew where we was going, and we would get the results if there was a setback. We made adjustments to the setback, but we had a steady momentum going forward. So long as we know we had a plan and we was trying to execute the plan, and it was practical, and we started seeing results in succession of events, we were good money. And after a while, one house turned to another house turned to another, one setback here, another setback there. Start weaving through this, and I'm like, oh, now I got it. It's a wrap. Now that I got this, I'm like, watch this. I'm going ahead and telling everybody this shit. I'm like, I'm going to teach everybody this shit. Watch this. Everybody should look like this. Like, this is how I feel. Like, everybody should have this. Like, everybody should look like this. I see what it did to my children. I see how they comfortable, they happy. I know my children when they're in the projects, and I know my children now the way we living now. The combination, I'm like, the environment is really true. The environment had the best effect. The environment. Got rid of the runny noses. The environment. Just being happy. People make you sick, you know. Environments make you sick. You can eat all the good food you want to eat in the world. People make you sick, man. Like, just being around a certain mentality will make your nose run, man. Like, you can eat the best shit, best tonic, Dr. Savior shit, all you want. People be so effed up, man. Their energy just throw you off, man. You know what I'm saying? Environments with the fire trucks, that shit right there. Noise pollution, fucking with your melanin. It's dangerous, man. That shit is dangerous. It's dangerous, man. It desynthesizes everything that you got going for you. You know, we need to be able to separate from this stuff sometimes and get away. You know, that's why I live in the mountains. Like, I'm right in the mountains with mad trees. It's peaceful. I don't hear none of that chaos. I got running water around me. I'm like, I'm good. Everywhere I go, I make sure when I buy property that there's some running water around. Because that's where I'm more comfortable at. And it's my meditation. I'm at one frequency. I'm born on the 10th. So it corresponds with mountains and running water and everything. And everywhere our ancestors went, they always had a stream of running water. And now River Valley, they created that. They gutted out the ground to make sure that running water is there. Because whenever you have water in motion, you have negative hydrogen ions. There's alkalinity and there's positivity in the air. So I'm like, be on it, man. Be on it. Like, I be talking to economic stuff, I be on my metaphysics and stuff, but sometimes we just got to prioritize. Because you see, like, yo, we really hurting with the economic shit. And I know everyone beating their head with the metaphysics. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? We want to have to try to allocate some of this information towards economics, then work our way back. Because we prioritizing the wrong way, we're misappropriating the information. It's like, yo, we super saturating most of our time and study towards, you know, the intangibles. Not to say that it don't exist, and not to say we shouldn't contribute sometimes towards seeking that higher knowledge and incorporeal, ethereal knowledge. True. But, you know, when shit is on the line and everything, and dealing with all the pressure from phone bills and car notes and all, like, yo, we gotta fix that shit. That shit'll keep you locked into the hood, and after a while, you just become complacent. Start being like the 85 after a while, you know what I mean? You start behaving like a real nigga after a while with that shit. It happened to the best of us. The best of us. Cave in. After a while, you just say, yo, fuck it, I gotta do something. Nigga gotta eat. That's the mentality you're gonna go right back in. You know, I'm telling people, there you tell me that's not the mentality. I come from that mentality. I am that mentality when I'm put strapped back to the wall. You know, you go back into nigga gotta eat syndrome. You know what I'm saying? That's the mentality. So the second I seen some light, and I'm like, yo, this is working. Yo, we tried it again. Yo, it's working. Tried it again, it's working. I'm like, all right, watch this. We're gonna tell everybody this. Tell everybody, like, tell as much people as possible. And who need a little help? Let's see if we create a situation where we can try to help people. You know, get to that goal as quick as possible. I want people to experience what I'm experiencing. I'm like, you know what? For a second, I was really thinking black people just fucking nuts. For a second, I was just really thinking they crazy. But now I realize, you know, we ain't crazy. It's the conditions. And even though we know it's the conditions, we in it so much. You just, man, black people are just horrible. But we not. We just socially engineered to be this way. You know what I'm saying? We brilliant, man. I'm telling you. We mad brilliant. Just these conditions, we trapped. Shit is like a trap. It's like a real trap. It's a box. You know? Ain't nobody really behaving the way they normally would behave under normal conditions. This shit is just all reactionary. You know what I'm saying? But really, I'm like, I just seen the beauty, and my wife used to have the chicken head neck and all that, stress me the fuck out. I'm like, yo, what's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you always argue. Different environment, it wasn't the money, it's the environment, man. It's security, knowing that the house ain't gonna be taken, knowing that ain't a mouse coming out the stove again. All that shit stress you out. You think you alright, but you ain't alright with that.
Disease.
Yeah, it bothers you, man. That shit bothers. Murals on the wall, candles lit on the floor. I'm like, shit stress you out. You don't know it, but that shit is stressing us out. You know what I'm saying? Stressing us out. Niggas walking by staring at you like they want trouble. You gotta wake up and say, yo, I hope they don't bump into me today. I hope. Now I gotta have my spirituality challenge. You know, you got your ego. You want to show this dude like, yo, you can't. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? But then in the other instance, you got a conscience and you're like, yo, I don't need to get involved with that. But then in the other instance, you're still thinking back like, yo, I should really show this dude something. That's too much in one day, man. All day, all day. Like in New York, shit's all day.
Every day, all day. Right here, too.
All day, people trying you. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to do the right thing. It's worse to bother somebody doing the right thing than somebody doing the wrong thing. Because the person doing the right thing, you gonna make them crazy because they're already saying to themselves, I'm trying to be good. And you over here challenging me? Like, fam, I'm not even the one that really want to be part of this type of situation. You should find somebody. There's plenty of them out there. Why you magnetizing me?
Well, you know that's because you attract that. Because
that's right, man.
Who would we be without them? Think about that.
You already know.
You know,
They build our spirit.
Right.
They build our spirit. Right. Absolutely right, man. Yeah, they make us strong,
for what they do.
That's right. They're the reason why, like,
the
books came out.
Yeah.
Look her it up.
So I like the ad song, so I just
love it, man. Nah, we gotta get out, man. I love the internet.
And I saw her with the fluent.
Yeah, my baby.
Oh
like,
man, that is excellent.
Yeah, man. Again, the environment, man. All that came out. So you know what? Babies don't be talking, but they got a lot on their mind. They be absorbing everything, man.
Smarter than us.
Oh yeah, they'll tell us something if we allow them. If the conditions, circumstances are right, they'll reveal a lot to us. If we allow them to speak, voice their opinion.
Instead of the no, and stop it.
Once we took out that environment and got her going, like yo, language is her next. We like yo, she like learning different language, so it encourages us. Like yo, we gotta learn to keep up with her. Like yo, she's interested. She sees something, she wanna learn that language. She said, I wanna learn that language. Be like, this girl is only 3 years old, she wanna learn this stuff. Be like, hey, I'm telling moms, feed the mind. So we just put the words all over the house. Right. You know, and then she reading early, so we like, this is crazy. So we like, let's go in. Let's just go in. Like, you know, because the biggest problem for our public school system, the reason why a lot of our brothers and sisters acting crazy in school, because they're not challenged enough. The information is too slow.
It's too easy.
So after a while, they get distracted because it's too easy, and they start causing trouble because they want some stimulus, and the information ain't stimulating.
We gotta definitely add the internet to it. You know, the internet is dumbing us down. You know that, like, they're distracted because of that YouTube. You can find anything out, man. So
I'm telling you, man, the right set, our children will find super brilliant. Man.
Where you from nationally? Like, where you from? Where you from?
Well, my blood test say Nigeria, but I was born in Brookdale Hospital in New York.
Because I feel like you have some of that animosity back. Like, my parents are Liberian, and from the war, from all that.
Barbados and Panama.
Okay.
To take me there, but bloodline, my blood say 75%. Nigerian, and then the rest of the blood is allocated towards Liberia, and then I'm born in Brooklyn. Go ahead, sister.
I just wanted to know and I'm quite sure there's a lot of people probably in this situation, what do they do if they're facing foreclosure or the sheriff is coming to town?
You come to Brother Polight. You do, like, that's the easiest question I had today. Come to Brother Polight. I love freedom fighting for black people. This is where the fight is at. I be having them thinking one of their own writing that shit up. It'd be fun. It'd be great. Yeah, that's why sometimes I eat those. Like, they mess with children, I eat those. I'm like, that's on the house. We love that. Because we can't have these devils taking our children. We can't. And people think it's only just paperwork. No. There's a certain essence, aside from all the voodoo shit I be doing too. I use everything I can use. I got crystal stones, chickens be getting cut, like I be going in. You know what I'm saying? I got you. Don't worry about it. I got you. We're gonna see what we can do in as real time as possible. Alright? And like I said, you ain't gotta pay nothing, so don't worry about it. We're gonna be on it. Okay? So, but yeah, we just go hard. But it's not just, oh, the paperwork is so fly and we're using it codes. People got to understand this, that the banks in America are acting as unofficial agents. Just like the policemen and all the police department and the rest of them, they're acting as unofficial agents of the Federal Reserve. Remember, the Federal Reserve gave America its charter to be a legal fiction. So this means the title codes are more punctuated than any other so-called law or statute or code that there may be. Why? Because America has a law that they have to answer to too. So what we have to do is find America in conflict with the laws they're supposed to follow. When they're acting as unofficial agents, like for instance, when they want you to do the income tax and everything like that, according to House Joint Resolution 192, the treasurer is supposed to deal with that. That responsibility has been given over to the president, who gave it over to Congress, who gave it over to the treasurer. Okay, so they're asking you to fulfill a fiduciary responsibility that has no business in your conceptions. You have no place in a lot of the things they ask you to do, like paying a summons or paying the debt. Okay, you owe somebody money. How can you owe somebody money in a nation that's already in debt unless they're asking you to counterfeit? That's just, and then you go to court, you ask them, Judge, do you intend for me to counterfeit? I'll do it to stay out of prison. There's ways to go about this information. I know you said, oh, that just sounds like slick nigga talk. No, this is for real. Understand what I'm saying. America is a corporation, so they have corporate laws they have to follow. The people who created the laws that America has to follow, right? means that America has to follow their laws. I know I said the same thing twice. The reason why I said that is because of this. The things that they're asking you to do are in conflict with the laws that they have to follow. So when people say, why do you think they're just going to abide by your paperwork? Because when they don't, they're undermining their ruler. This is what I'm trying to explain to people. It's not America with the power. They owe somebody money. So they have to do the bidding of that entity that they owe. So if they ask you to do something that's in conflict with the entity that they owe, they will be in conflict with their entity, and they can't have that brought up under no circumstance, because they let America get away with it once, then America's going to do it twice and 3 or 4 times. Not that America hasn't been getting away with it, but if you call them up on it and say, hold on, according to the Federal Reserve, you're not supposed to be asking me to do this. They're not going to turn around and say, well, you're going to have to do it anyway, because they'll be violating the law they have to follow. And that's the part, that's the answer when people say, so what makes you think that they're going to listen to your paperwork? Because they have to, because if they don't, I'm going to tell their boss on them. And they don't want that. And their boss will like me for reporting it to them, because their boss is not cool with them. They're not cool with their boss. Their boss lied and said that America's credit score went down to AA when it still was AAA. But many of us don't even know that America has a credit score in the first place. And because we're out of the context of that conversation. S&P, Standard & Poor's, lied, said they were AA. Now America lost the integrity of its bilateral partnerships, and in turn it almost caused them to be overwhelmed by people being discouraged and investing in them, thinking that their credit score went down. It actually did go down now. They were set up. They are not friends. These devils don't like each other. So all you gotta do is call the bigger devil on the smaller devil that's bigger than you, and you win. That's what we've been doing here. So don't think, oh, this is above black people and we can't win because they all devils. Yeah, I agree, they all devils, but you got to get the bigger devil to see the little devil. That's our problem. We've been going to little devils to see the devil that's bigger than the little devils we go to. So you go to your little civil rights leader devils, and they're not bigger than the big devil who's getting away with breaking the laws. You got to go to the devil all the way up, the higher up devil, and you're going to say, Mr. Devil, look what your baby devils are doing here. They're acting like they're bigger than you. If you don't check them, they're going to actually start thinking they're bigger than you and start telling people like us they're bigger than you. And I know your ego. You can't have niggas walk around thinking they're bigger than you, right? And that's what we have to do. Snitch. Snitch on America. When they start that BS, dry snitch, wet snitch, itchy scratch your ass for whatever reason. Do whatever you gotta do. Just tell as soon as possible. Put it on your shirts, put it all over your shirt, and say I'm telling. When you go to that court, just let them know I'm telling. Tell the judge you're telling. Do whatever you want to do, but just know I'm snitching, effective immediately. The second this court case is over, I am telling on you. And America will say, oh, hold on, you ain't gotta do that, fam. You ain't gotta do that. Put this under the table. You don't have to tell nobody. That's what we do. So don't worry about it. If you have a situation, you're ready to deal with the foreclosure stuff. First of all, one of the main remedies for the foreclosure is to ask them this. Number one question, where's the mortgage note? Number one question, because they sold it already to someone else for a profit because they couldn't endure waiting for you to pay for that note for 30 years. So the commercial banks are in the business of servicing the loans. How? They are working off a commission for international banks to turn those mortgage notes into something that can be equated with mortgage-backed securities by way of the people that are in prison and also soldiers. So what this means is this. You might pay for a $100,000 house. They may say, you know what, let's get 10 of these $100,000 people that are willing to go into debt for $100,000. That equals $1 million. Let's do that 10 more times. Okay? Now, as you keep going up, you go, let's do it another 10 times. Let's do it another 10 times. And they do this all the way up to $1 billion. So they got so many people that have $100,000 loans. And what they do, they amalgamate all this debt and create one note. And then all those loans are serviced to the international bankers. And they say, look, can we sell you all these people's debts? Because we don't have the money. We don't have the capital to sit here and wait for over 100 or 1,000 people that owe us $100,000 to actually pay us back in 30 years, because we don't got that kind of money as commercial banks. Sure, Bank of America, you work off a commission for us anyway. Okay, so you got $1 billion note here that represents 1,000 people who owe us $100,000, owe you $100,000. Okay, tell you what, we'll give you $350 million in equity for this. Bank of America says, good, yo, I'm gonna find another 1,000 people for you, watch. So they doing the Mary Kay thing, and they get to drive the pink cars too. That's what they're doing. So now what happens is, the international bankers get it, and they turn around and they talk to the corporation's facility of America, and they say, look, we need sureties, and if we can get you to confirm that you can pay off these debts if they go into default, then we can get people to invest in these debts. Right now, as we speak, we can get people to invest in them, because what the international bank is going to do to make it legal is create an entity or corporation and break it up into as much as shares as it demands based on the demand for the people that want to invest. And these investors will invest so long as the nature of this bond is that people will pay for it in the event the people that's supposed to pay don't pay. This is all confusion, but this is how the system works. And then they say, no, we got mad people in prison right now working for free. Let them know, but what are you going to give me if we sell? And all that's going on is people selling the debt down the line, selling the debt, sell the debt, sell the debt. And everyone's getting a percentage of this money that hasn't even been paid yet. Everyone's getting a percentage out of money that hasn't been paid yet. It's insane. So the question is this, because we just found out something. When the commercial bank gives you a mortgage, 9.5 times out of 10, they took that note and sold it to the international bank already. Because they couldn't wait the 30 years. They wanted to get the payout now, but they're told you got to get 1,000 people first. Don't come to us unless you got 1,000 people in debt at a $100,000 rate. Got you.
How'd you like today's election? My name is Youssef from BlackandNobel, and the election was good, very informative. The brother Polight, real-time solutions, not all that stuff that you go home and you get all emotional and you can't just basically, you know, fix it on your situation today. He handles stuff that people need to deal with as far as today, as far as getting them out of the situation that we're in. You know, the real revolution as far as with the mind and thinking. So big ups to Brother Polight, and hopefully he'll come back down here, and hopefully y'all see him again at BlackandNobel. Look forward to it. Look for the DVDs and the books to be here too. All right, peace. Protect.
All right. Don't tell me. Tell the camera. Got the ancient modern Hebrew etymology book. You know, I'm trying to deal with the language. I know I know for sure it's pretty good information in it, powerful information. So that's why I got this particular book right here.
Brought BlackandNobel to life. How do you feel?
You already know. I feel great, man. I'm glad there is a BlackandNobel. The energy is off the chain in here. It's a bunch of knowledge. When I first walked in here, it felt like a black mecca. Like, I didn't even know Philly had something like this the whole time. I've been to Philly several times, not in a teaching capacity, but I mean, I'm almost embarrassed that I was in the neighborhood. I was in West Philly, and I didn't even know that there's a BlackandNobel, man. So all I can say is, man, keep this thing going, and anything I can do to help contribute to keeping this up here, because it's one of a kind.